Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and in this video we're looking at the Breitling Superocean Heritage B20 Automatic 42 and the Omega Seamaster Professional Diver 300 meter. The Breitling was kindly lent in by Saltzman's Watches, so if you could go follow them on Instagram and check out their website, I'd greatly appreciate it. I'll leave a link down in the description below. And as always, I greatly appreciate them sending over watches for us to check out. Wanted to check out this watch for a while now. And the Omega I've had for a little while. Really haven't worn it all that much because, well, I came across a good deal. I bought it, but really wanted to sell some stuff before wearing this watch too much. So anyway, with that aside, let's talk about the prices. The Breitling Superocean MSRP is $5,250, and the Seamaster MSRP is $5,400. So as you can see, both these watches do have a date down there at the 6 o'clock position. They both have ceramic bezel inserts. The Omega Seamaster is definitely more modern looking. This one looks more vintage. The bezel inserts, there we go. Yeah, I think that's lined up. At least it's lined up down there. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. Looks like it's off up there. Anyway, where was I at? Oh yeah, this one's definitely more modern looking. It has the ceramic dial. This watch is really stunning looking. I just have some nitpicks with it, but that's not what this video is about. So both have the date at 6 o'clock, and they're both dive watches. This one's rated to 300 meter, as you would expect from the name of the watch, and this one is rated to 200 meters water resistance. The bezel on this one is neat because it's held in by screws. It's not a friction fit bezel like most dive watches are. Really not that common. I've only ever seen it on my Zen watches. I don't know of any other watches that have that offhand. But this one here is just a friction bezel, and it is scalloped. The bezel action is fine on this. It's just not quite as easy to grip the bezel as you would expect with the large scallops here. Really don't know why they did that, but I think that's how this one's been for years. It looks like this watch came out, the original one came out in 1993. And this one has a nice bezel action, very nice and easy to grab. The lugs do come up and kind of protect the bezel a little bit. Interesting. But yeah, they are both ceramic and they're both shiny. Oh yeah, I think I was trying to show you the dial here. Sorry, the crystal, they are both domed, as you can see here. Okay, so the movement, the Breitling has a so-called in-house movement. Is based off of the Tudor MT5612, 70 hours of power reserve, and it is COSC certified, so the accuracy will be -4 + 6 seconds per day. And the Omega has an Omega movement, as you would expect, the 8800 movement, 55 hours of power reserve, METAS and COSC certified, so the accuracy on this one is -0 + 5 seconds per day, which of course is better than COSC. And I just found out today while researching this movement, it's actually 7 beats per second. I don't know why, I never knew that before. I could have sworn it was 8, but it's 7 beats per second. And no, I didn't count it to verify, but I did read that at several different sources, so I guess that would explain the slightly higher, or the higher power reserve of 55 hours. But this one's at 70 hours with 8 beats per second, which falls in line with Tudor and Rolex, which makes sense since it is essentially a Tudor movement. Okay, let's talk about the dimensions. So this watch does have negative end links, so the lug to lug of the case is your true overall lug to lug. And we're looking at 49.7 on this one, lug to lug. 42 millimeter bezel diameter, 13.8 millimeter thick, 20 millimeter lug width, and there is no taper on this bracelet, so it's 20 down to 20. Also, I did not point out this watch does have a helium escape valve, even though it is just rated to 300 meters water resistant. Come on, there we go. Yeah, so HE for helium. I don't think I've had any other 300 meter dive watches with a helium escape valve. I have a Zen U50, which is rated to 500 meters water resistance, and it does not have a helium escape valve. But anyway, let's go on to the dimensions of the Breitling. Lug to lug on this, 51.5, 42 millimeter bezel diameter, 14.4 thick, 22 millimeter lug width, and this mesh bracelet, mesh strap does taper down to 18. Very neat. I still haven't figured out how they've done that, but yeah, that's very neat. I've never seen that before. .7 millimeter crown, which reminds me, I forgot to tell you on this one, this is a 6.3 millimeter crown. And both of these watches are essentially the same weight, 174 grams on the Omega, 173 on the Breitling. Breitling does have all of its links, and this one is sized for my 6.5 inch wrist. So this is definitely a robust feeling watch. It feels heavy on wrist, so if you're into that sort of thing, you may want to get a Seamaster. Or more specifically a Seamaster Professional Divers 300, because they also have a Seamaster 300, I think it's called. It's it looks more like this kind of styling. It's more of a vintage style watch. I actually like that one more than this one, but it's quite a bit more expensive. So I have this one here. All right, let's talk about the bracelets a little more. So as I mentioned, this is mesh. It does have the removable links. You can see these screw pins here, which is very neat. It does have micro adjust. You can't see them from out here because they're internal to the clasp. I'll show you that right now. So you can see these little depressions in here for the spring bars to engage in, and that mesh strap is notched out. So you take a spring bar tool and pull the heads of the spring bar in, and you can adjust it forwards and backwards. So signed Breitling here, and looks like this nub here engages with that slot there for a friction fit, just like that. Okay, the Omega, it does have quite a beefy clasp here. Dual pushers, no safety clasp, and it does have a tool-less micro adjust, so that's very nice. So you can see where it says push, and of course you can just push that and slide it in and out. Sorry, let me show you that again. We can do it from this way. Push and slide, push and pull. There we go. Also, I can show you, I think I can show you the diver's extension. Really haven't used this watch all that much. There we go. So it does have that, which I'll probably never use. So let me get both of these on wrist, and then we'll close out the video after we do the Lume shot. If you have not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it, and it helps me out a lot. Ring the bell too, that would be great. And like the video if you liked it so far. So I have a 6.5 inch wrist circumference, 52 millimeter wristband, and this guy here, lug to lug, is 49.7. So it is nice that the end link just tapers right down. I don't know about this watch. I'm still not too keen on it yet. It does have these half links, which you can see here. Actually, they're smaller than a half link, so that helps with sizing because these links are quite large. Looking forward to the Lume comparison here. Really have not looked at the Lume all that much on the Seamaster. So there we go. Again, 6.5-inch wrist, 52 millimeter wristband, and lug to lug on this one, 51.5 millimeter. I really like the look of this mesh bracelet. The look and feel is just so good. Sorry about that. I was looking at the links. I don't even know. I'd be curious if I could actually adjust this to fit my wrist. It might be a little bit too large, but then I still would have those micro adjusts, so it'd probably work out. But I'm not going to do it. It's not my watch. It's in on loan. Really try not to monkey with them too much. All right, now it's time to check out the Lume. So, of course, not a fair comparison at all. The Omega definitely blows it out of the water in the Lume department, but you know, the Breitling's just it's a dressy diver. The second hand isn't even lumed, so about what you'd expect. Really like the Lume on the Omega here. It's quite impressive. That will conclude this video presentation. As always, thank you for your time and thank you for watching.